Hello everyone! It is Tuesday, October 21st, 2008. I'm Marcel Gagné and this is WFTL Bytes, your occasiodaily Linux and FOSS news show, or FOSS and Linux news show, as you may prefer. The theme of today's newscast is business. Busyness! Mankind was my business. Sorry, don't know what happened there. Anyway, it's because Christmas is coming up in just another however many weeks it is. Whew. Anyway, business. I want to start out today by talking about open source software and how open source software makes some companies an awful lot of money. And who makes more money out there on open source software than Google? Yes, we'll lead off with Google. Actually, we're going to lead off with Google's technology, specifically the Android mobile architecture, which is being unveiled in the very first product of its kind, the Android phone from HTC, which will run only in the T-Mobile networks tomorrow. Tomorrow, October 22nd, is when this thing makes its appearance into the world. And yes, there's already a couple of reviews out there. Maybe I should post links to that. Who knows? What I do want to point out, however, is that Motorola will not be undone. Motorola says they will unveil their own Android-based mobile phone, which will actually be much better, faster, stronger than the HTC G1. I don't know, bigger, but it'll be much better anyway. It's going to have a large touch screen, you know, like the iPhone has, so that's going to be cool. It's going to have a slide-out QWERTY keyboard, and it's going to undercut the HTC G1 by $30. The only catch, of course, is it's not going to be available until the second quarter of 2009, whereas the T-Mobile HTC G1 is available, did I mention, tomorrow. Speaking of people making money in open source, Computer World reports that Red Hat CEO Jim Whitehurst figures that the current economic crisis is actually good for open source software. He figures that Enterprise OSS will come out much better than its proprietary counterpart when all this is over and the dust has finally settled. Red Hat, by the way, reported a second quarter earnings that was 29% higher than it was last year. So things are pretty good over at Red Hat, I guess. Over on the VAR Guys column, he points out that Canonical, in their Canonical store, is also embracing third-party applications to get more money into their coffers. They're starting to slowly, albeit, sell third-party applications like IBM's DB2 database, the Parallels workstation software, and Power DVD, just to name a few. There's only a few at the moment. There are a couple more sitting there, but there will be more as time goes on, as they start to get their open source software working, you know, in step, if you will, with other commercial applications. Speaking of non-commercial and commercial, all at exactly the same time, the Register reports that the Linux Foundation has just unveiled its first beta of Linux Standard Base 4.0. Woohoo! And it's going to come up with, it has a brand new tool in it called the Linux Application Checker. What is this all about and why should you care, you ask? Well, let me tell you. LSB was originally created by the freestancer. Oh my God, I forgot my press hat. I got to put on my press hat. You can tell that this is really bad. But here we go. LSB was created by the Free Standards Group, which recently merged with OSDL, the Open Source Development Labs, to create the Linux Foundation. The Linux Foundation is notable for paying Linus Torvalds' salary. You know, so he can go on doing all those cool things that he does. Anyway, the goal of the LSB, the Linux Standard Base, is to develop, quote, and promote a set of open standards that will increase compatibility among Linux distributions and enable software applications to run on any compliant system, even in binary form. And that, my friends, is a good thing. And I did mention that with LSB 4.0, they're releasing the Linux Application Checker. It's a tool that's going to make it easier to find out whether your application is compliant and will work with all these other systems. And I'm going to wrap it up today with a little posting, I guess we could call it. I'd say, you know, it's in some ways it's a little bit of a rant, but my good friend James Gray over at Linux Journal has posted a question, a whole tirade, so to speak. I'm sorry, James. But anyway, about Microsoft and about Apple and about Linux. Here's what it comes down to. Microsoft has just unveiled a $300 million ad campaign. $300 million. To counter the Apple I'm a Mac ad campaign, which as we all know is a very successful ad campaign and very cool. And it's been, I mean, you can tell something is successful when it's been spoofed 1,000,003 times on YouTube. That's how you know something is successful. Anyway, so they're rolling out this ad campaign And James is asking, does Linux need a $300 million ad campaign? And he goes through a lot of different reasoning and so forth, and he eventually comes to the conclusion that, we probably don't, because we're a community, we're growing slowly but surely and so forth. Well, James, you're a great guy, but you're wrong. We need a major advertising campaign for Linux. We do. Linux on the desktop. We got to push it. There's got to be marketing out there, and marketing means advertising. We got to get the word out, and we got to do it in a big way with companies like Canonical and Red Hat and so forth. But we got to push the desktop, baby. And that's what I like about those new netbooks that are showing up all over the place. They've got Linux running on them. Oh, did you notice Dell has actually put out an ad for one of their new netbooks, the Inspiron 9? They've actually got an ad advertising that it's available with Ubuntu. So that's Linux. Ubuntu is Linux, And so advertising, baby, we got to do it. Anyway, that's it. I'm finished. I'm done for the day. And tomorrow, wow, what an exciting day tomorrow is going to be. Anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Seriously.